season 4. So Lucifer was on Fox. High rated, highly loved, according I knew of the show, but I never watched it. John Campea kept talking about it. I never watched it. It was one of those things where I just kept hearing him talking about it over and over again. I was like, I gotta check this show out. It got canceled because any show that's ever been canceled and then brought back, I've always been curious of, because then if it's strong enough to be, because the first and only show that I've ever seen that happen to was Family Guy. And that was one of those situations like this should have never ever been canceled. So whenever it happens again, I always give the show a chance. So Lucifer season 4 was scheduled to come out. So me and you started watching Lucifer and binging Lucifer. Was it a month ago? Has it been? It's just been
it's been a couple weeks ago.
How long did it take? Yeah, how long did it take for us to binge all 3 of those seasons?
It's just been a few weeks.
Damn, we flew through that stuff real fast. We probably should have paced ourselves and timed it to when.
I know now, because now it's over.
Well, we couldn't pace. I mean, like pace ourselves from like watch an episode and timed it to when season 4 was about to launch, like the day before the season 4 was about to. But we were kind of late on season 4.
Yeah, it was out for a couple days.
We still were like. We had like 2 or 3 episodes of season 3 to finish before, so we were like 2 or 3 days after season 4 launched before we started watching it. But then when we started, we binged season 4. Well, it was only 10 episodes, but we still binged those 10 episodes faster than we've ever binged any other season, the first 10 episodes.
We had to find a place for Wi-Fi just so we could finish downloading. We could finish
watching. We lost our Wi-Fi the other day. It was a rainstorm and electrical. I guess the lightning knocked out our Wi-Fi here. See, out of all our neighborhoods, it feels like our house and then the Starbucks down the street are the only people that don't have Wi-Fi. So T3 Media's, Credit Realty, and Starbucks don't have Wi-Fi, and 2 of those places are here in this house. So we've been struggling trying to figure out how to steal Wi-Fi from people. I ran the cord over to the neighbors. They found it. We've been going to the Walmart. We went to McDonald's. We've been downloading.
You said Starbucks. That's better.
The Starbucks. That Starbucks down in Conroe. It was really fast. Go to Starbucks at 11 o'clock at like an hour before they're about to close. You'll get the best Wi-Fi you've ever had in your life. And tell them up front, just like I did, I'm not buying any coffee. I went in there and that's the first thing I said. I said, hey, I got some work to do and I'm not buying anything. They were like, okay. Ever since they got in trouble with that Starbucks that kicked those black guys out, I've been daring people to mess with me ever since those guys had to be like,
see, I love coffee. I just feel like I need coffee anyway.
No, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to threaten a lawsuit. I'm going to make them all uncomfortable. I walked up to a black guy and said, hey, I'm about to sit here and just get this Wi-Fi. And he was like, damn right, bro. That's exactly what he said. So I just made them all uncomfortable. Both times, 2 days in a row, I went to Starbucks to download our stuff on Netflix, and both times I was offered something for free. I think that's what they were secretly told to do in those meetings. Whenever a black guy walks in, he's just using the Wi-Fi, offer him a free beverage or a pastry, and wink at them. Because that's both times. It can't be a coincidence. Both times, 2 people got an order wrong. Well, maybe those orders get messed up all the time. But they
had one in our hospital.
Have you ever been offered anything free at Starbucks? I told them the second time, I was like, no, if you don't want it, I don't want it. Because what did you do to that?
No, I mean, the lady where I'm at, will just tell you, look, she said I mixed it wrong. And she asked for this, and this is what I made. I misunderstood. Well, now I've got a drink. If you want, you can have it.
I feel like looking at him and speaking in a Russian accent, you drink it first. You test it. Then I will drink. I'm not gonna miss, but the first time it was like, what was it? It was a double. We threw that cup away, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Is it in our I want to get that drink again. It was a double, and it was sweet. It was a double ice coffee.
I wasn't listening.
You would have been proud. I don't like iced coffee, but you do. And it was the first time I really drunk an iced coffee, and that thing hit me like a ton of bricks. All I was gonna do was just one article, and I wrote I don't know how much I wrote in there. In the Starbucks, they had no Wi-Fi. I don't know what the hell I was doing in there. But then I left and I went to McDonald's. But yeah, go to Starbucks at 30 an hour before they close. You'll get the best Wi-Fi and best Pornhub you've ever seen in your life. It was great. And if you're black, you get free pastries because they're afraid of a London lawsuit. Oh, so I got way off of Lucifer. I'm gonna make that into a funny Starbucks segment. But Lucifer. So we were talking about this at dinner. Your favorite episode of Lucifer? Your favorite season. Like, if you were to rank the seasons, if the best as you can remember, which seasons do you think? Which storylines do you think stand out to you more? But that's probably not fair because the freshest one, the latest one, is going to be fresh in your mind.
Probably 4, but then maybe 2.
Because 2 is when the goddess. I thought
they introduced new characters in 2.
Yeah.
You had
the forensics expert, and I loved her from
Ella,
Dexter.
And then you had their mom.
There's also another wrestling connection because I didn't know that. What's her name? The forensics expert. I know she was a friend of a former wrestler. The woman who played the mother of Lucifer, God's wife. The Big Bang that's where the Big Bang came from, was God and the goddess getting together and creating the universe. But she possessed a corrupt lawyer who went to hell. I'm guessing that they loved her performance as the goddess so much they didn't want her to go, so they just said, let's just say she just came back to life after, even though that made no sense. No one that's been possessed by somebody or none of the other characters that got possessed or anything like that came back. Not even in this season. All those people just dropped dead because they were murdered. They technically deserve to get their lives back. You think any of those people came back to life, or did they all just die?
Well, she was they told them to go to hell.
The demons, they died whether they were murdered by a demon just for the purpose of bringing a demon up from hell to take their body. They were murdered. It was whether they deserved to go to hell or not. They were still murdered before their time mostly. And when Lucifer told them all to go to hell, they went. So technically, shouldn't have the same thing have happened to their bodies that happened to the goddess? Shouldn't they have been pulled out of hell since they were taken away prematurely? There's a cliffhanger right there for season 5. What happened to all those stacks of dead bodies that just sitting around in that concert? I think they're probably going to come back to life.
Well, I don't know that they're even going to address it because
there's a murder spree thing.
They're
probably going to call it a cult.
Ending to that is
the cliffhanger on Lucifer himself.
It's off the books to the police department because she couldn't tell the rest of them. So
no, they're not going to talk about the spiritual side of it.
No, but I'm just saying I don't know that they'll even address it.
I think they should. You're probably right. They're probably not going to address it. If they do, I already know how they're going to do it. The preacher, the former priest, had a cult following that all killed themselves in that concert thing. Somehow that rapper was involved, and they all were crazy. That's how it is. Yeah, they all went to the church, confessed their sins, went to kill themselves all together in this concert for some reason. They were all led by the crazy preacher. That's how they're going to address it. And then somehow Lucifer is going to use that to come back. I don't know. It's going to be weird. I don't know how they're going to address season 5. I don't know. I don't feel like I know they could. Like they said, there has to be an angel sitting on that throne. But Lucifer was able to leave.
Well,
anyway.
They can leave. It's just
they just don't want him to.
After time, if no one's guarding it, the
demons start getting restless.
Yeah.
So does he have to go back so should they you can leave, but you have to come back every season and bring the detective with you every now and then just because we want to see her? I don't know. I feel like one season. I feel like if it continues, there's going to be an episode where the detective's going to go to hell. I feel like we're also going to see heaven too.
They can't come and go. They're not angels.
No, I know, but I mean, angels.
That's why I said the baby.
Angels couldn't have babies.
He's half, so he's still a celestial, so he can come and go freely.
Gotta solve this. You're right. They ended it in a way where it could be over. But if they do get renewed, what's the way to solve that conundrum?
Well, that would be the whole season. That's
the season of figuring out. Oh, you think it might start off with he's still down there and Amidadil and Maze and the detective, everybody, they all have to try to figure out how to get him out of there.
Could be.
The church ain't gonna help him. Yeah. Devil worshippers, you think they might figure something out? They might. What do you think? Satan. Lucifer doesn't like devil worshippers and people who use his name for all their stereotypes and stuff, so they wouldn't be of any help.
No, because he doesn't like the image they give off of himself.
They would probably just have to ask God. God's probably going to have to make an appearance in season. His voice has already made an appearance in those bonus episodes.
The throwaway episodes?
Yeah, I don't count those. Those 2 episodes made no sense. Those 2 episodes they showed me why they weren't used, because they didn't use them for a reason. They didn't really fit, but they had them, so it made sense when they thought they were canceled. They were like, well, here's some bonus. But it just throws you off. They should have put those. I mean, they showed us on Netflix in the order that they were aired, but they should have had them separate. They shouldn't have called those episodes 25 and 26. They should have called those. They should have had like a bonus, like a tab, an extra feature thing or something, because they don't fit at all.
No, it threw you off because when you saw 24 and you went.
She finds out, yeah, because on
very cliffhanger.
On episode 23, the detective and Lucifer weren't even together. They were separate that whole episode. You could tell that these were done. Those could have been throwaways from season 1 for all we know. Those probably could have been season. Well, no, because the forensic girl was there. So these were at least from season 2. They were probably throwaways from season 2 or season 3, earlier in season 3. But they were definitely throwaway episodes. But I don't even count them. And if I ever watch Lucifer again, I'm gonna skip past those 2 and pretend like they never happened, because they didn't. You enjoyed seeing Lucifer's rear end, didn't you? The thirst tweets.
The thirst tweets were hilarious. I mean, it's not part of the show, but
yeah.
That was pretty funny.
And that singing segment that they did.
Oh, the very last episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the dance, song and dance.
Him and Detective Douche.
I mean, that was pretty funny for him to fly into his arms.
Do you think Detective Douche and what's her name, forensics girl? You think they're gonna get together, or do you think they're gonna figure out a way to bring what's her name back?
No. I mean, I'd like to see them together. I don't think they'll try to bring Charlotte back.
Eve was able to do it because she was she was one of the first humans. She was touched by God, so she has a pass. That means Adam could do it too. I see Adam probably being a Boy Scout. He probably would never do it though. But if Eve is staying on Earth, they're probably going to do that. Adam is probably going to come to Earth to bring her back. That's probably that's something that's probably going to happen. Cain has been on Earth. How many children did Adam and Eve have? Was it just Cain and Abel?
Well, I mean,
then their wives and stuff. Adam can come back if he wanted to, since Lilith. That's something that's going to happen, because this whole thing with Maze and being the mother of the first woman, the very, very first woman, was an interesting thing. I think we're going to see Adam. I think we're going to see Lilith before we see Adam, though.
Probably.
I think that's probably going to be the. She was the first woman, but she's not an angel. They're gonna have to figure out this. Why wouldn't the girl who plays Death? Why wouldn't she want to be the sit on the throne? She likes Lucifer. She loves Lucifer, so maybe she could do a timeshare thing with Lucifer. She is Death. she brings people to hell, so she has more of a connection to hell than any of the other angels.
Punisher.
She's not a punisher. Well, death is the ultimate punishment. Is the ultimate equalizer.
After death, are still getting punished.
Before you get your punishment, you gotta die. She's got a connection. She's the only angel that makes sense. I think what's gonna happen is one of the angels is gonna go rogue. Maybe that other sister that tried to take the baby. I think one of the angels have to go rogue. Amidadil has to fight, and then they get her or him, whatever angel does it, to take it, be imprisoned in hell, and probably take Lucifer's place, and that'll be that person's punishment for somebody's gonna go too far. If I was writing the show, that's how I would do it. I would have one of the angels go too far, do something, and then take Lucifer's place.
Well, you already know Maze doesn't get along with her mom.
Yeah, that would be, Lilith would be my main villain for season 5. Lilith would be my main villain, and would be an ongoing villain. It wouldn't be a one and done season thing. That sounds like that's gonna be like Lilith is gonna be coming back a bunch of times. It's the kind of a thing. She seems like a character. She sounds like a character that doesn't just need to just die at the end, like Loki, the goddess, and everybody else. Lilith sounds like she could be a problem because she's the only character that's ever just been mentioned and never seen. They've never done that before, so I feel like Lilith would be a big deal, probably for a final season. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe God would be the villain for the final season, or the thing to finally overcome at the end.
The humor was good. I enjoyed that.
You thought this season was funnier? You thought it was funnier on Netflix than it was on Fox?
Well, yeah, because they could push the line just a little bit. Because a lot of it was innuendos. Yeah. Some things aren't even.
But they kept the innuendos in place too. They didn't go too far. I like the fact that they didn't push it. They said shit every now and then.
It was just some of the suggestions and hints of things that were pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was gonna be nudity and all that stuff, but that's good.
I mean, like his house being the whole orgy. There's a sex swing.
Well, they've done that already before, but they never showed. They showed people around, but they never showed things.
He had dildos in his hand, and they didn't have that on Fox.
You were excited about the dildos, huh?
No, it was just very funny. I think he even sniffed it.
Ugh, forgot about that.
On the couch.
Ugh. I think Lilith was not Lilith. The goddess one. I think she was funny though, when she was the goddess, and because she was so attracted to Detective Douche, and he didn't know why. But I was starting to get pissed off with this character towards the end of season 4 until I figured out, like, okay, why are you so mad at Lucifer? And he's like, he's not mad at Lucifer. He's actually mad at himself. I thought that was a good little thing too, because he was starting to piss me off.
Yeah.
It was kind of like Eve. I didn't like the first 2 episodes of season 4. I thought it was a bad beginning, but then it threw me off because I thought the detective was going to be the villain or the conflict, and then it turned out it showed what she was really doing, and then she turned back, and I was like, okay, good. And then it was like, okay, then that was great. That was brilliant. It was a misdirect, because if she was going to be like that whole conflicting,
I think they just wanted to at least add so that it wasn't just a simple, okay, I saw his face and it doesn't bother me. I'm totally cool with it. I think they wanted to at least allow some doubt, and conflict in her mind to say, I don't know if I'm okay with this.
Yeah. After it turned again, I felt like it was brilliant. But I was so worried. If she was going to be in conflict throughout the whole season or the majority of the season, I would have been mad. But when she was conflicted, then she tried to reconcile with it. Then she struggled with it, and then she overcame it. I thought that was great. I thought that was good. But I was so worried. I was like, oh no, she's gonna be trying to send him to hell this whole season. I'm like, I'm out. And I'm like, no, there shouldn't be a season 5. But they saved it. And then what she said at the end, she said I love you
numerous times, trying to get him to not leave.
I was so mad that they didn't have sex. I've been waiting for that since episode 1. That's the first thing he tried to do since episode 1.
They'll just leave it.
It's not like Mulder and Scully. I mean, they kissed faster. I mean, it's not faster, but I mean, they kissed faster than Mulder and Scully did. Finally, I mean, they kissed a couple times, and she finally said she loves him. They should have boned. Episode 5, they got to go to Pound Town. All right. Well, I can't wait to see it. Season 5. I feel like it's gonna get it.